Oh, it did pretty quickly that time. That's really nice. I've gotten used to like waiting a minute for the Twitch to catch up with the Streamlabs app. Okay, but it's here, and I'm Sunny, and we're gonna play some Wingspan. So let's go. Let's get into it. Yeah, they have a tutorial now, but I know how to play the game, I think, so I'm gonna skip it. Like, I really want to click on it just to get rid of the feather. Okay. Oh, that's actually cool. I could probably use the duet tutorial because I tried to play duet once during the open beta, but I couldn't follow it. Um, so maybe I will check that out at some point. I have no idea how it works. I also don't know how I don't even know how to pronounce this word. Automa. I don't know which is correct. Um, and I don't know. I've also tried that at some point and have no idea how that one works either. I just play the classic game with the expansions against a bunch of robots who are not as good at the game as me. If I were playing against a bunch of people, maybe I wouldn't do so well. But I don't have patience for online mode. Real people take too long, and when you're sitting there in the room with them, and you know your friends or family, and you're laughing and talking, it's fine. But um, now playing against a bunch of internet strangers, no thanks. I've just heard too many horror stories about people like just backing out, taking too long. All right, let's see what we've got. Okay, birds with no eggs. That's an absolutely terrible final round power to have. Um, but maybe it could be challenging. Maybe it could be a thing of where we still want eggs, but we, pardon the pun, we put all our eggs in one basket or a few baskets. Um, so, yeah, that could be fun. All right, what are our bonus cards today? Wetland population monitor. I just uploaded the video for this one to YouTube. Um, I did this one the other day. It was a really good game for me. Site selection expert I also did somewhat recently, but less recently than the wetland population monitor. Also, this one was a secondary bonus card, so I wasn't going for it for the very beginning. So I guess I can do this and try and, yeah, go for it from the beginning so every single one of my columns can get that trio of nests. So what birds do I actually have? Oh my gosh, the twite is so cute. Ah. That's not a bad power either. Um, let's see, these three all have the same nest type though. So well, then I've got, okay, I could do, yeah, twite and lesser white throat. All right, belted kingfisher is definitely, because it's a star nest. Oh, the mountain bluebird. I need a second bird before I can play it. I mean, I don't need to, I could play it, it's not useful. Do I take 4 cards? I don't usually like to do that. I like to take 2 or 3 cards, and then 3 or 2 food. I find it gets really hard to get started if you take 4 cards and only 1 food. The lesser whitethroat is not really useful with this last power, and I'm going to be building vertically, not horizontally, so I don't think the lesser whitethroat would be very useful, because I probably will not at any point have a full habitat of 5 birds. I'll probably get 4 maximum, and yeah, but maybe the twite is not a bad power. Yeah, you get tucks at the end of every round, and then it also helps, like, yeah, you know, get refresh your hand basically, which for the site selection expert bonus card, you know, that'll probably be good because you can focus on a nest type and that gets you more birds. So I could play these two together. I will need to waste a turn laying only a single egg, but it could be worth it. I like that the Australian owlet nightjar only costs 1 food. I like that it gives you free food between your turns. So now the decision is, do I play it first? And I think I do. But alright, I will use a nectar to play the Australian owlet nightjar, and then I will take my 1 food that I can get to be my fish for the belted kingfisher, so that when I either get a free worm from someone else taking their turn, or when I just gain food and get anything, I can play the belted kingfisher next. Okay, this is good. This is good. I have a plan and I'm feeling good about it. I will peek at what's on the tray, but I don't think I'll take anything. I would love the great horny owl. It's one of my favorite birds, but it does not make sense at all to take. The red crossbill would be a good maybe. But I wouldn't be able to play it for a while, because like my play order would be Australian owlet nightjar, belted kingfisher, and then after I've laid an egg and gotten all the food for both of these birds, mountain bluebird and twite at the same time. And I would want that before I play anything else in either my forest or my wetlands. So I probably won't be gaining birds for a while. I will consider the red crossbill though if it's still there in a few turns. Because I definitely will want a bull nest bird for my forest and then also my wetlands. Okay, I have got a good plan going into round 1, so let's get started.
Australian owlet nightjar. This small nocturnal bird is also known as the moth owl, but it is not an owl.
It does kind of look like an owl though, so I could see why someone who doesn't know any better would make that mistake. I mean, it's got way more tail feathers than most owls. At least, you know, from what I think of when I picture owls, but I mean, 99% of my knowledge about birds has come from this game, so I'm definitely not a bird expert by any means. Ooh, okay. I draw 2, I get 2 cards from the deck. That's a really generous power. Swainson's Hawk, okay. Brown-headed cowbird. Okay, I definitely will not be playing the brown-headed cowbird because it doesn't have any sort of nest type. So if I get an opportunity to tuck it, that could be a good tucking bird. Alright, so we wanted to play the belted kingfisher next, so let's, we also need, I'm gonna pick up the grain, for the twite, and then I will use, the fish for the belted kingfisher. Maybe it's a waste to like not get a nectar, but it's just gonna take me a while to get everything up and running. So I would rather have the definite food that I'm not gonna lose at the end of the round than risk taking a nectar and not being able to use it, or just not being able to get the kind of food I need. I'll play the belted kingfisher. Okay, yeah, both of the fish.
Belted kingfisher. The kingfisher burrow can go up to 6 feet into a riverbank and slopes to shed water.
The red crossbill is still there, so maybe I'll go pick it up. I could do the Mississippi kite too. That can be column 3. Oh, nice. Extra nice. I mean, why not, right? Sure. I mean, this is probably planning way too far ahead, but I think it's fine. I can always change my plan. It doesn't hurt to have extra cards in my hand. You know, if I get the twite on board, it will have the opportunity to tuck. So, you know, even if there's ones I don't want to end up playing, I can always tuck them. Or discard them for things like eggs. Do I do that? Do I maybe tuck my brown-headed cowbird to get 2 eggs? Alright, let's see what's in the bird feeder, because I need a cherry and a worm. I'll probably get a free worm at some point from the Australian owlet nightjar. Yeah, I've got the 2 grain for this guy. Alright, I'll take the nectar. I'll just take another nectar. Because with that extra food that I've got, like, I'm more confident now about being able to play birds this round. Sweet. I think I will discard to lay 2 eggs, because I already know that I want to play the red crossbill, so that way I won't have to spend another turn, and I know that I absolutely do not want to play the brown-headed cowbird. I'm putting them on the belted kingfisher for this round end bonus. That way if at least one of the eggs is still there at the end of the round, at least that's one that type of nest with egg. Yeah, the way it's looking, I'm going to be able to play the red crossbill too. Yeah, well, I was about to say the North Island brown kiwi. I was about to talk about it, but it's gone. That's what I have to say about the North Island brown kiwi. It's gone. Yeah, no, star nests are super useful to have for this bonus card, especially star nests that can live in multiple habitats. Alright, let's play our mountain bluebird. We'll use the 2 nectar.
Mountain bluebird. These birds can be found from prairies up to alpine zones above tree line.
Cool. And then the twite.
Twite. Outside of breeding season, twites will gather in large numbers, often with other finches.
You know what? I will do that. I've received 2 free fish for the belted kingfisher, and I don't have anything in my hand that eats fish. And there's going to be more where that came from. So yeah, I will make use of these fish. I think the falconer is a safer bet here. I have two birds in my hand with a hunting power, and I was intending to play both of them. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, I'm planning to build vertically, and the grassland data analyst would require building horizontally, and I just think that it would be too much of a challenge to try and go for 5 cards in my grassland. Oh, you know what? And I can't really even because I didn't even realize this. Like, I noticed that it said I had 2 already, but they're going down, not up. And if I'm going to be playing the Swainson Talk, no, it wouldn't be worth it. This already guarantees me an extra 4 points if I get both these birds on board. And this one, if I play the Swainson Talk, that's like possibly 5 points, but I'd have to really work for it, so it's not worth it. I already got one of my fish back. I think I will draw cards because I am going to need a wetlands bird with a bowl nest or star nest, and then a wetlands bird with a stick nest for this slot. The twite is going to give me extra cards in my hand, but I can also tuck some. So that way, since I do want to play all 3 of these, you know, if the birds I draw from the twite are also birds I want to keep, then I have to make a hard decision. Versus if I draw cards now, there might be some that I don't want. Australian ibis. I wouldn't be able to play it until this slot, but that's not a bad bird. All right, let's see what's in the deck. Burrowing owl. You're tempting too because you're a star nest and you're a hunter, and now I care about both of those things. All right, I'll take the Australian ibis, but I don't necessarily need to play it if the twite gives me better birds. So many birds, so little time to play them all, right? Draw 2 from the deck, okay. Alright, well that was easy. I'll just tuck both of these too. Yeah, the common loon has the wrong type of nest for what I'm going for. And then the Australian zebra finch, if I hadn't just drawn this burrowing owl, I would definitely be tempted by it, but the burrowing owl is a hunter and it's worth 5 points versus not a hunter and worth 1 point, so. Okay. 1 stick nest bird with an egg was not enough to get me a point, but that's okay. You never know until you get in there. Alright, we're still looking for a wetlands bird with a bowl or star nest, and none of these are that. Alright, let's get some food. Let's get a nectar. So I want to play the red crossbill next, and then both of these guys. So we'll want rats and worms, or just more nectars. That's fine too. Should get one of those birds where you tuck your extra food, or no, you discard your extra food to be able to tuck birds. Okay, so for the red crossbill, I'll do one grain and one nectar, so then I can use the nectar for some of these others that I don't necessarily have the food type for. Like the Swainson's hawk needs a rat and a worm, and since I don't have any rats, I'll save the other nectar for him.
Red crossbill. These birds use their specialized bills to pry apart conifer seed cones.
Yeah, it's too bad with the Australian ibis. It would have gone great here. Like, that's the problem with this card and the planning I had to do. By choosing the twite, and then the red crossbill, I kind of locked myself into bull nests first and then stick nests. So hopefully we find something, because the Australian ibis would be a good one to have. Alright, I do need to lay eggs before I can do anything else. Alright, I only get the 2. I knew that. I could have discarded a food. I've got a bunch of extra food. But I didn't need the egg right now since I'm only, I've only got 2 birds that I'm planning on playing right now. I'll do his Swainson's hawk first. Yep. I will want to try and activate it before the end of the round, because this one is birds with tucked cards, and its hunting power does count as a tucked card, even though it's not like the tucking symbol, it still counts. So I could then get 2 birds with tucked cards. Can't get any from there or there. Oh, I can cash. Oh, that's a really useful power, because I'm getting a lot of worms. That's awesome. I wasn't really paying attention to where that power came from. It was another player, but I didn't see what bird it was. I'll have to pay attention next time. Okay, so now I will play the Mississippi Kite in my forest. Still nothing coming up in the bird tray. Alright, I've got 2 turns left. I will lay eggs first. Oh. No, alright, if it's still there, I'll take the gray catbird. Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking the gray catbird. First of all, I mean, I'd only be able to copy the Australian ibis's power, but it's not a bad power to repeat, because you could get, if you choose to tuck your card, you get a point, or you get just another bird in your hand. So once I play the Australian ibis, I will have something worth tucking. And I needed something that lives in the wetlands with a bull nest. So, and that's nice, convenient. I got a cherry for it too. So, all right. So the gray catbird will be the next one I play. But I definitely want to take my last turn to lay eggs so I can try and hunt with my Swainson's hawk. Okay, it was the brown shrike that the blue owl has. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, it's lucky that I happen to have the worms. So the question becomes, do I sacrifice food or cards for extra eggs? I don't intend to play the Coltit necessarily, but if I get the burrowing owl in my grassland, I could potentially play the Coltit. So I don't want to discard it because I might want it. Food, well, I need my worms. I don't think I'm going to use this grain, and I only need one fish. The Australian ibis eats a wild, so that could be the other fish, but I'm going to need to get food anyway at some point, so I think I will just discard a fish and discard a grain so that I can get 4 eggs. And I'll just boop, 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 boop. Because the next round has that type of nest with eggs, even though I'll probably be spending them more than keeping them, even so. No. This Swainson's hawk cannot hunt a lesser frigate bird. Alright, that's too bad. I'll only get 1 for the birds with tuck cards, but that's okay. I still think it was quite a productive round. It's taken all my worms, man. I'm running out of worms. Alright, let's see. Red-headed woodpecker. You're useful because you can live in any habitat. I like that. European turtle dove. Okay. Alright, well, I don't need the European turtle dove. I think I'm going to tuck the Coltit, simply because even if I do go for a 4th column with this type of nest, you know, with the red-headed woodpecker and the burrowing owl, like, there's just more flexibility there, and the red-headed woodpecker is worth more points than the Coltit, so. Alright, so tied for 2nd place with 1. Otherwise I would have been tied for 1st, but that's okay too. Alright, well, let's go gain food. I want to take both of the nectar, but then I won't be able to use my Mississippi Kites power, which is probably not going to make a difference because it never succeeds anyway. I mean, I could wait a turn, I guess, but I don't have anything else to do. I have eggs, so I don't need to lay eggs. Alright, so I'll take the nectar, and then if I re-roll, there's a good chance, yeah, of more nectar. But now, instead of there being 0 dice not in the bird feeder, there's 1 die not in the bird feeder for me to not succeed with my Mississippi Kites hunt. So, yes, I can use a grain because the Australian ibis could eat it. so we'll play the gray catbird. Yes, we do want to use the 2 nectar and the cherry so that we can save our worms and stuff for the Australian ibis.
Gray catbird. Catbirds mimic other birds and also have a call that sounds like a cat meowing.
It's cool that the animation has it actually eating the cherry. Oh, sweet. Oh, my AirPods are dying. That's annoying. Hopefully they'll last for the duration. I don't know, usually when they make a low battery sound, it means they're going to die like immediately. My webcam, I believe, has a microphone. So hopefully if my AirPods do die, the webcam's microphone will pick up. If not, sorry, I don't know. Alright, dying, I don't know what to do about it. Yeah, I think the audio has already switched to my regular speakers. Yeah, the audio switched to my regular speakers. What's it called? Like the program is showing that they're still receiving audio when I'm talking through the mic, so I don't know. I mean, if it's a fail, it's a fail. Alright, so I was going to play the Australian ibis next in the wetlands, and yes, those are the 3 food that I wanted for it.
Australian ibis. In urban areas, this bird is nicknamed bin chicken for its habit of eating trash.
I love that fact. Mostly because the first time I played this bird, my thought process went, oh, the Australian ibis is so pretty, I love it so much. And then I play the bird and I hear about the fact, and oh, this bird that I think is really pretty is known as a bin chicken. Okay. Man, so many free fish. Okay, I definitely do need to gain food though, because I haven't been given a free worm in a little bit, and I want to make sure that I have one in case that Shrike's power comes up again. And hello person who is watching me, I hope you can hear me. My AirPods died, sort of, and I can't tell if the microphone is still working or not. Okay. And then, alright, so I took a worm for the purpose of potentially tucking. I do want to play the burrowing owl, so I can take a nectar for it. Yeah, see, even with 4 dice, it's a fail. I really hate this power. It's not, I don't know. I just find the failure rate excessive compared to, like, the Swainson's Hawk. Yeah, I mean, so I only have a maximum of 3 birds for this power right now, but it doesn't hurt to have extra. Oh wow, that's a lot of rats. Okay. Oh, rats. Makes sense that they gave themselves a worm because they get to activate that other power too. Alright, what birds do we have here? No. Yeah, because I think I want to get another one with this type of nest, then I can play the red-headed woodpecker wherever I want. But I'll think about it some more. I will play the burrowing owl because it's compatible with whatever nests I choose.
Burrowing owl. These owls often use old prairie dog burrows for their underground nests.
So I will lay eggs my last turn of the round. I will spend a fish to get an extra egg. And I'll just lay them here. This way now I get 4 for this type of power, but I also want to consider the end of round bonus and focus on laying eggs in the birds with large nest sizes so that I can keep all my eggs in as few baskets as possible. Oh, so yeah, this time it's the same power and it didn't even activate at all because, yeah. It's a crappy power, I'm sorry. Not sorry. See, Swainson talk. That was a successful one. But at least it's good for something. It helps with my falconer bonus card, even if all its hunts are fails, it still counts toward the falconer. Alright, what does the deck have in store for me today? Brown falcon. Oh, you're a hunting bird. Okay. So maybe we don't do the red-headed woodpecker. Maybe we just find another stick nest bird. Yeah, I think I want to do that. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to tuck both of these two, and then in my last round I will hopefully find another stick nest bird, hopefully another hunter, that can live in either my forest or my wetland. Yay! 4 is enough. Oh! The King Rail will give me another bonus card. Alright, if he's still there, when my turn comes around, I'll grab him. And I'll play the brown falcon in my forest and play the king rail in my wetland, and I'll have all 4 columns. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll do it. Just seeing what's in the deck. Yeah. Yeah, if this one had been another predator with a stick nest, I probably would have played it in place of the king rail just for the guaranteed points for the falconer bonus. Yeah, and same thing here. If I would have gotten that. Okay. Alright, so here we go. Tawny Frogmouth. I'm going to do that instead of the king rail. I mean, I always like the idea of new bonus cards, but there's no guarantee that one would work. And this one, it's 1 more point than the king rail, and it's then 2 extra points for the falconer. So I'm going to keep the Tawny Frogmouth. Alright, so with my last few turns, I will play these 2 birds. course, I have none of the food that they need, but I do have a whole bunch of extra food from my free power. So I actually think, oh, there we go, there's a worm. I'm getting so many extra grain and fish. I'm just gonna use the 2-for-1 food ability so that I can save. I'll save my worm for in case that caching power comes up again. So I'm gonna play the brown falcon first. And I'm actually just gonna do 2 fish for the worm and 2 grain for the rat. And then I'll gain food for the tawny frogmouth. The forest owlet is so cute. Alright. Perfect. Exactly what I needed. Alright, another successful hunt. And another unsuccessful hunt. Who could have predicted that? I probably didn't need to activate the red crossbill's power. I just gave a bunch of free food to my enemies, but whatever. I think probably none of us are hurting for food right now, right? We're getting free food from other sources, so I'm just contributing. That power did me a favor. It stole my rat, but in exchange I got a nectar. So, which I suppose, I mean, when I was actually gaining food, I could have re-rolled for potential nectar. Yeah, see, more free food. We're all just giving each other free food. I don't think my crossbill is making that much of a difference in people's lives.
Tawny frogmouth. These nocturnal birds are masters of camouflage and are often mistaken for broken tree branches.
So I've got 1 turn left. I think I will just play the king rail. It's either that or lay eggs. If I play the king rail, you know, there's a potential that I get a good bonus card. There's a potential that I don't. But I also increase my birds with no eggs, which, I mean, I don't know how other players are doing. Maybe I have a lot of birds actually, and only 3 of them have eggs, so I might win that one anyway. But I would only get to activate 2 powers on this one. I don't know, the temptation of what if there's a good bonus card here is just too much, so.
King Rail. King Rails declined 91% from 1966 to 2014 due to habitat loss and pesticide runoff.
That's too bad. All right. Yeah, there's no time to play a fourth fish-eating bird, but that's okay. 3 is better than nothing. I'll take it. I mean, there's something kind of satisfying about choosing bonus cards right at the end of the game, because it's like peaceful in a way, because like it's at the end of the game, so you can't do anything about it. It's just like, okay, either you get 3 points or you don't, but you don't have to like stress yourself out like working toward another goal on top of the goals you already have, especially when the goals might contradict each other. So alright, yeah, that was overkill. 11 birds with no eggs and only 2 with... I mean, that's really how I tend to play generally anyway. I know laying eggs is a really good strategy for points because every egg is worth a point. You could just lay a shit ton of eggs and have a shit ton of points at the end. But like, my strategy tends to be playing as many birds as possible, which requires spending the eggs rather than collecting them. So it is very common for me at the end of the game to have like less than 10 eggs, and a lot of times like less than 5 eggs, sometimes 0. This has been pretty successful. Yeah, only 6 eggs, but that's okay. Yeah, have the other player to thank for the cached food. Only a few tucked cards on it. Wow, 127, that's a pretty good score. That's pretty good. Yeah, I beat everyone else by a lot. Alright, that was a good game. I'll take that game. Feeling good about it, that was fun. Alright, yeah. Hopefully you guys can all still hear me. I don't know what happened with the AirPods, but if my audio cut out in the middle, I'm sorry. But regardless, I'm Sunny. I love Wingspan. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.